This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Me.
Good afternoon and welcome to Behind the Scenes, or evening, or if you're watching this in reruns, happy Tuesday. I'm your host, the Baroness of Ayrshire and Glen Lyons, Summer Helene, and we are on with my co-host, the baddest bear in the cage, Hairball McGee.
Bear Fiorda! I don't know, he started out so calm. I'm like, I got to be contrary. I can't. The energy was so smooth and seamless, and I had to disrupt
flu.
It.
My assistant nearly died. You had bird flu. We are all still sick. What are you talking about?
What really is bird flu, though? If not
it
just
is
flu from birds.
It is avian influenza that nearly killed us, that we ironically got when we went to the hospital to visit my uncle who was suffering from a raccoon bite. Do you know how absurd statement sounds?
Bitten or
no? He touched a water dish. Sorry for the clinking of my pearls. By the way, shout out Vivian Westwood. Not a sponsor, just a soft spot.
Just a soft spot.
But essentially,
like a baby's head. I'm kidding.
So my
the uncle,
yes, puts out food and water for stray animals. Well, I guess he went out and splashed it on himself.
Okay.
And he got sick and it got in his veins, and it was actually Zane, one of your friends and coaches, doctor, who's a wonderful doctor, who's like, so did your uncle get bit by a raccoon? Because he called us and he helped us out and he's like, hey, this is what's going on. He's like, did your uncle get bit by a raccoon? I'm like, well, it is in the realm of possibility if you've met my family. It's not a no.
It's in the water. They're poisoning the water. No. It's it's raccoon saliva.
Isn't that guy from InfoWars, that lunatic that got kicked out of the internet?
Putting things in the water make the frickin' frogs.
Make the frogs gay.
Frogs gay. Thank you. What is his name anyway? Alex Jones. Oh my God.
If you guys cannot tell, which is funny. So I am somewhere between conservative and, a lunatic. He's somewhere between liberal and a lunatic.
Oh, we always make it.
We always, all joking aside.
It's political. I just don't, I don't care what his political views are. I think he's a nutcase.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have people from the right and the left, and everyone thinks this guy's a moron. And the worst of it is, for those that don't know, people in Hollywood that actually support this guy think he's a moron. He's just a moneymaker.
He does make money, that's for sure.
Well, it's not like you have Joe Rogan, who can be controversial, but people don't think he's stupid. Nobody has ever accused, well, I mean, people have, but only people that can't be bothered listening, have accused Joe Rogan of being stupid. You may not agree with him. I don't agree with him a lot, but he's not a stupid man. I have tea.
You know who else is not a stupid man?
Albert Einstein.
Well, now I think about it, he may not be stupid, but he has made some poor decisions in his life. And now
Elon Musk.
Sure, why not?
Actually, I can't insult him. I'm
let's
working
talk
with
about
him.
Elon
No,
Musk.
I'd rather talk about Blake Lively.
No, I don't want to talk about.
Do not pick on anyone from the Commonwealth.
He's not being picked on. He is from the Commonwealth. I was going to say originally he wasn't from the Commonwealth, but no, he's not being picked on. He's just always been really, really good at putting himself in the room full of people smarter than him. That's what he keeps doing.
I'm not going to knock that. That is my special skill too.
Yeah.
The difference is, so when Elon Musk sold his first company, he made good money. He made about $20 million. He built it himself. That's the only company he actually built. And then after that, he bought out PayPal. He did a lot of these very smart things.
Tried to turn PayPal's name into X.
They did.
or whatever.
I will say he did make his He did make his fortune despite himself. Yeah. He kind of got kicked out of PayPal. So what they ended up doing, I've got to be really careful with this. I'm working with him. so I'm going to tread really lightly.
Be careful saying that, because people are going to be like, oh, you're working with the guy killing off our healthcare and our rights and our benefits and helping the country pay oodles more money because tariffs have been enforced. Careful when you say you work with him. Can you clarify that?
Yes, I'm working with America's first oligarch because we are working with Tesla. Now, behave yourself.
Now, I say this. I love what he's done. There are things he's doing that I do not like, and there's things he's done that I think are freaking amazing. And that's what's like, oh, he's in office now. This is fantastic. What is he gonna do? And I don't know. I just feel kind of let down so far.
So essentially, what he's doing is he's shoring up a company called Starlink. So what he's doing by taking the government contracts he has is good business. It's not necessarily good for America. It's great for South Africa and the Commonwealth, so I encourage it. But he's shoring up a company called Starlink. He got involved in the British elections as well for that reason. Now, this company, Starlink, is company he runs, is a network of satellites. And by him taking the government contracts, essentially we've privatized the satellite networks. So cell phones, companies, everyone has to go through this one private company. It is genius. His goal is to be the first trillionaire, and he will be.
I don't know. It just feels like it feels like he's trying to take over the presidency from Trump and like use Trump like a puppet's kind of a harsh term.
Everybody uses politicians as puppets. Anyone out there that thinks any president, I don't care if it could be Biden, it could be Obama, it could be Clinton, it could be Bush. Every president is used by the people that get him in. I just think Musk is more open about it than most people.
But the point is, the people vote in Trump because it's like he's different. He's not the.
You hate Trump.
I don't have to like him to acknowledge what his goals were.
Of course, you also hated Biden. You did not like anyone very much in this.
Why do we have to picture between two old senile men? I don't get it. I don't like their choices. I haven't liked their choices since McCain, and I wasn't allowed to vote for it at the time anyway. So what does it matter? I'm just saying.
Okay. So simply saying,
a lot of frustration.
Essentially, you would like somebody to run under 80.
Yes, I would love that. I would love someone to run under 80. That would be very nice. Well, I'm tired of hearing about how to.
I'm like telling him, I'm like on the side. You got to look at the little green light.
A record for oldest president, okay? I don't need to see youngest either. How about record for most middle-aged centrist person? I'd love that. That guy's got my vote.
I don't know. I've worked for the Republicans. I've worked for the Democrats. And I am saying this. I know I'm not American. I am saying this as a monarchist who thinks America should be returned to the Commonwealth.
Is that not what you're saying? Just return to the
Commonwealth? Yeah, go to the Commonwealth. Shame on all of you. But I'm saying this as kindly as I can. When you only have two parties, you are constantly voting against who you don't want, not for who you do want. You need more parties. I did like your Bernie Sanders guy. I figured it was funny. My dad calls me from Australia and he's like, the conservatives in America must love him. He's a Jew giving away healthcare. I was like, that isn't how that works here. It's very hard to explain.
No, it's not how it works here. How Jesus of you? No.
Yeah, that was kind of what he thought, and I was like, no, it's very hard to explain here.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it's
because you're also the only country that has white Jesuses. My grandmother was so weirded out when she came here. Because, I was raised super Catholic and my mom's Jewish, my dad's Catholic, and I was raised with both of these religions. So, in Judaism, Jesus is a prophet. In Catholicism, he's Jesus. And essentially, my grandma comes here and she's like, why is there a picture of Constantine in the church? I was like, oh, that's Jesus here.
People get shocked when we show them what
I was raised with Middle East Jesus.
To the rest of the world, not just to us. We started this conversation before the show, and we were supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, we want to talk about Blake Lively."
Okay, so we are not talking about Black Jesus.
Everything but Hollywood in this conversation.
Fine, let me get it short because I'd really like to get to our guest. I'm actually doing a TV show about her. She's amazing. So let's do a quick run on Blake Lively. Blake Lively, if you would like to save your career right now, she's trying to say it's religious differences. She had a whole article put out. That's not going to save it's not going to save you. If you want to save your career, this is what you do. Very simple. You turn around and you say, I'm really sorry. I misread the touching. I misread the way he approached me. I understand he's a very tactile man. Please understand, I was raised in the entertainment industry. I've dealt with a lot of trauma. You guys know, I'd been to court before. I'd been sexually harassed and assaulted before. Maybe this is a mix of trauma and me not used to being around somebody who's so physically tactile. And then fucking settle. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care.
Fuck yeah, we do. I feel like
if she does that, she can save her career. She needs to do that, take a step back for a couple of months. And then Ryan Reynolds needs to come out and say, look, I supported my wife because she's my wife. I understand she did the wrong thing. I'm sorry to Justin Baldoni. but I'm always going to support my wife. That is how they both save their careers. And if you guys don't take my advice, you don't have to pay for it. And if you do take my advice, you still don't have to pay for it. I'd like to remind everyone. Yeah, I'm literally the top rated media strategist in Hollywood. Literally most expensive one. I'm giving you free advice. Take it. Well, it's also how I got very wealthy. it's also how I make money. Well, no, that's not, but that's one of many ways.
I'm just gonna say this, okay? If they have the money to settle, just get this shit over with.
No, if they settle, they can't settle at this point. So they did. I understand.
I know they can't settle at this point.
I understand what their strategist is trying to do by saying it's religious differences. It's wrong way to go. Because they're already hardcore left wing and they're tied up in left wing ideology and they're tied up into that grouping. If you say religious differences, their own base is going to turn on them and think of them as not understanding enough. That's not going to work. What you have to do,
was just terribly
have to admit a wrong. You don't have to admit the wrong you actually did, which was trying to take the movie, but you have to admit a wrong. So find something you can apologize for that is not as bad as what you were actually trying to do, but it has to be real. You cannot lie. It has to be real and then apologize for it. Well, everyone's on the whole, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds is a narcissist thing. He's not. He's a control freak and points to him.
Sure.
I'm going to have some tea and points to him. But he is not. Yeah, everyone's like, he's a narcissist. I'm like, no, he's a control freak.
Yeah.
And points to him. But realistically, if she wants to save her career, that's how she does it. If you want to save your career, remember this. Branding and strategy isn't just for Hollywood. Everything you do every day sets your brand. The way you speak, the way you sit, your manners. I sit during the show pouring tea. It's very bad manners. I normally wouldn't do that. But if I don't have caffeine, I'm not going to be awake for the show.
Well, speaking of someone who is awake for the show, totally real, and does not have to rely on caffeine, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong about that one. Welcome to the show, Lauren Powers. How's it going today?
She is one of my favorite people. Do we have Lauren?
This is not what I expected to see.
There
we go.
Hello.
All right, it took a second for the screen to pop in. I'm like, maybe I missed the cue. I said the wrong keyword.
I did, but we won't talk about that.
It was.
No,
Here I was looking for my sticks.
Yes, that's what we need.
Yes, there you go. I'm ready.
Well, welcome to the show. We are talking, we talked about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and how he can save, how they can save their career. If they take my advice, of course, if people took my advice, they wouldn't lose so much money. Actually, I think the only person I never repped was Michael Vick. When he called for help, you hurt puppies, fuck you. Sorry, there's my line. Puppies and kids. Anything else? I do it all the time. I get calls. The people who most frequently call me, though, I will say, are conservative pundits that get caught with other men. That's who I get the most number of calls from. I always get how do I make this go away? I'm like, don't lie, don't say anything, redirect the news, put something else in the news, screw up somewhere else, give them something else to focus on. But whatever you do, don't argue it, because the one thing the Royals have right, never explain, never complain.
Right. I like it. I will keep that in mind.
Well, what is it? But somehow I do not think I'm going to find you with an underage prostitute. I'm guessing that's not the way. That's
probably not going to happen. Right?
Yeah,
I think we're safe.
A little bit. I think the best calls I ever get are the ones like, am I supposed to call you before or after I get arrested? Why? Did you do something you're going to get arrested for? I'm about to. No, don't do the thing that's going to get you arrested. But yeah, I've gotten calls from producers that work with me, from actors. Everyone's like, do we call you before or after? Or, hey, you're my first phone call. Can you call me a lawyer? I'm like,
how about don't do it? Don't do it.
I want to backtrack a minute. Speaking of things that you do or do not do and should and shouldn't do, are you versed in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation right now?
Yes, because of Candace. She comes up on my feed every second talking about. She's like obsessed with it.
Oh, totally obsessed with it. I enjoy Candace. So for those that don't know, shout out to Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a conservative pundit who really, if you are not into conservative politics, just don't watch her political stuff. As far as celebrity stuff goes, she is on the money. And when she says she heard from an insider, she legitimately did. I'm actually friends with one of her leaks. So when she says she gets it from an insider, she actually gets it from a studio media strategist. So she gets it from one of the top wigs over at Disney. That is without any nonsense. So it's, if she says it's about Hollywood, believe it. Where I can say politics.
Yeah, I believe her. That's why I watch her. I think she's awesome. She just, I love it. She's direct. I'm direct. You're direct. We tell it like it is.
Exactly.
So
that matters.
We don't mess around.
I always tell people, like, politics is subjective. You don't have to agree with her on that, but she does have a legitimate line into Hollywood. So if she's saying it, she's heard it. There's no subjectivity.
Well, you know, I wanted to know, what is your opinion on the matter? What do you think's going on with that situation with the two of them?
What do you think about the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively thing?
Well, I think it's insane, first of all. And I really like what you said. Just get out of it. Like, quit feeding the fire. You know what I mean? You just have to, like, apologize. And whether it's right or wrong or whatever it is, just redirect, move on with your life, quit feeding the fuel. Don't give these people something to talk about. And I think the whole thing is insane. But
one of the problems,
I believe what Candace has to say. So there you go.
One of the problems, they pulled Jenny Slate into it. Now, Jenny Slate, for those that don't know, she got popular in Parks and Recreation. She also was in what's the Hormone Monster show? She played Missy, the little black girl in the Hormone Monster show. Then they kicked her off because she wasn't black, playing a black character, which I thought was ridiculous. But Jenny Slate is an incredible. It's a cartoon.
It's a great show.
An incredible comedian and actress. She actually dated Chris Evans for a while after her divorce, and the public tortured her to the point that she broke up with him. She's like, it's not worth it, because they didn't think she was attractive enough for him, because she's a super fit. She's got very unique, very Mediterranean features, and the public tortured her for dating him. So she dumped him. Yeah, and they were very much in love, great couple. But they pulled Jenny Slate into it, and what's sad about that is, I was like, of all people, if you are looking for someone that's going to throw themselves under the bus for you, this is like, there are certain comedians you don't, Sarah Silverman, Jenny Slate, like Chelsea Handler. She's right. You don't pull them in. And Jenny Slate is louder than the other two. If you've ever seen her stand up, she reminds me of my friend Brittany Schmidt, another comedian. Just don't pull a comedian in to protect you. Them. You're going to end up in the next stand-up show.
Right. They're going to use you as bait.
Yes. I'm like,
and content. Makes for good content.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, don't pull in a comedian. Now, so do you think do you think Justin Baldoni actually harassed Blake Lively? What do you think happened? I'm just being nosy now.
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
I doubt it. It's just blown out of proportion. I don't know. You know, this Hollywood stuff.
Well, I mean, you've been in Hollywood forever.
Yeah, so I love how you're like, those Hollywood stuff. I was like, ma'am, you're in it as much as I am. Come on now.
Well, there you go. Yes. Speaking of, let's talk about what's coming up. What's going on with the shows and all these things. I've been, man, for my personal show, it's been writing itself. My cast members are like going bananas. Like every day we've got cleanup calls happening. We've got drama happening, but it's all in the world of faith, which is amazing. I've never been in such a group of women that are like Orange County housewives / Christian.
Hey.
For those that don't know, I'm actually doing a reality show here with Ms. Powers. And what we are going to do is a show based on her life, her circle of friends. She's been in a lot of other reality shows. And one of the things we're going to do is talk about her being in the other reality shows, follow her on day to day, talk about what that experience is like. The only one we don't get to talk about is Mr. Beast, because I don't want to get sued.
Right.
Don't talk about Mr. Beast. But I will put that in the show. Don't talk about Mr. Beast. But we're going to be following day to day on what's going on. And I got to tell you guys, she has one of the most interesting lives. But one of the channels used to be called PureFlix, is looking for television shows, and is a Christian-based network. And so we've been talking to a couple of Christian-based networks. We've been talking to traditional places like Fox. We've been talking across the board. And what I'm finding interesting is there is more and more desire for Christian-based content.
100%.
And so I love that. And I think that's a great fit because you are very non-traditional for a Christian. Like everyone expects, you know, kind of the trad wife.
Riding my Harley with eyelashes. And
that's it. Like you are not who, when people are like
Christian, you're the metal Christian. Yeah.
That's it. When people are like Christian woman, they're thinking like ballerina farm. They're not thinking you.
Like, you know, but that said, you have been in so much stuff. You could probably have had the opportunity to do whatever kind of show you wanted at this point. You have the context. Why a reality show? Why something that's, I guess, not scripted, less control? But I mean, you can always fake it too, right? So I'm like, why do you want the real thing for people to see that?
That's true, because this isn't doctored reality.
Right. Well, because I think it's timing for one. It's all about timing and where the world's at. And I believe that we talked about this, that the world and especially, you know, our country, we need real reality. None of this scripted nonsense, negativity, women fighting, slapping each other, throwing each other in pools, all this kind of nonsense, getting drunk and being ridiculous. I think we want wholesome, real reality. Of course, there's drama with just a bunch of women. That's going to happen no matter what beliefs you have. But as far as my crew and who I hang out with and my daily life, people have been telling me everywhere. In fact, after our meeting with you two, when you came here and saw my home and, you know, how I actually live.
I got to tell y'all, she's got the world's cutest dog.
She's coming on. I see. That's why I have dog mom.
Yes.
She just had a mani-pedi and got her hair done.
Oh, that's sweet.
I have to find her. She did a Halo commercial. So Cesar Milan and myself endorsed this Halo collar thing. But she was so funny when the whole production team was trying to chase her to put the collar.
I love that.
But
she's a star.
I gotta tell y'all, Bear's supposed to be doing some promotional content with Lauren. No. He spent the whole time petting the dog.
The dog.
She loved it.
The dog chose me. Okay,
I was like, come on.
He was working you, Bear. She knows. She knows what's up.
She does. She's very, very good at that. Absolutely.
But everybody I talk to, though, you guys, they're saying I'm like, because after our meeting, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna start this reality show, and everybody, I swear, 100% across the board, everybody's like, it's about time. Everyone has said that. It's like, you are so reality material. It's not even funny. Your life is so unusual, so different. All the characters you hang out with, just what you do in one day would be an entire series in one day. The life of Lauren Powers. And I've done a few things. I've done a lot of scissor reels and all these kind of things, like looking for love and different things. And it was all timing. Like we shopped to all the networks. Back then I did another pilot for, there was 5 of us bodybuilders. It was kind of like Sex in the City, but for bodybuilding women. And it wasn't the timing. In fact, I think I told you guys before, they said if you were what it called, like a hillbilly that was when Duck Dynasty was it.
Oh, got it.
If you were a redneck, we would buy your show. Or if you were a singer, because that was when Glee and Duck Dynasty was popular. So I feel now the world is ready for, like, as far as faith-based, we need hope. And I think just bringing positivity, bringing hope, and bringing fun, but giving God all the glory at the end of the day, I think really America is 1,000% desperate for this type of thing. And so we're gonna bring it to them. We're doing it. Let's go.
Well, I think what's interesting is, like, with the Duck Dynasty guys, if you saw them before the show, they were clean-cut Wall Street guys. So they were turned into that. And I don't want anyone to think that's what we're doing. This is a legitimate, especially with my history, like the kind of reality shows I do. I'm very well known for, like, action films and trash TV, but because it's usually what I produce. Right. And I got to tell you guys, this is actually we've got a few reality shows coming out, and every single one of them are very, very much real reality, and that's what people are looking for. And maybe that's why there wasn't a fit, because it sounds like the shows they were trying to shoehorn you into were like, like Rock of Love kind of shows, or this or that, or existing formats that weren't about you, because you're a show on your own. Like, I've been around you. 100%. You are a show on your own.
People have no idea what they're in for.
It's wonderful. And
it's entertaining, that's for sure. Yeah. Boring is not what
you spent years developing that, though. You've been in and out of different shows, events, premieres.
She's an author.
We're an author, actually. Yeah, it's exactly good point.
There it is. Beneath the muscle.
Beneath the muscle.
Now I got to tell you,
you're a baroness, and I'm an ambassador. I just got this after talking.
I love that.
Yes, I got some. So now you've noticed my name is AMB Ambassador Dr. Lauren M.
Wow.
Powers.
Well, congratulations.
The Baroness ladyship. I up my game.
And that's I love that. Well, no,
is it ambassador to like a specific country or to?
It's and you know what it's for? It's for kindness and happiness. How do you love that?
That's awesome.
So, congratulations.
Spreading the goodness.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm a doctorate of humanitarianism because I speak on women's empowerment and motivate women all over the world. And then this ambassadorship is literally for kindness and happiness. So that's part of the whole character that we're building, but it's real. Like this is no, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for any of this. It just comes to me because of what you said, Bear, of my history and all the things I've done over my career and my years of empowering, inspiring, and just living life, really. But it's all TV worthy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it is.
No, it's not fake. It's not like she has a bodysuit on that's cut up with muscles and everything.
It's not even that. I gotta tell y'all, we go
blow it up every morning.
We go to her house, and so we show up, we pull over, and Bear and I are sitting there, and we walk over, and then this golf cart with eyelashes drives over to us. And that was the moment I went, we're good.
We're good. That's it. Slide around the corner.
Because you go and you see people before you put together these reality shows. You talk to people, and we'd had her on the show. And I'm now saying this to the audience, so I'm talking about you. My apologies. But hi, shout out. I've got sniffing cootie there. Hi. Or you have them, but it counts.
Yeah.
So you go, you interview people, and even if someone seems good, you got to go check out their life. You got to talk to the people in their life, that whole thing. And I've never, ever haven't even got to the interview point where we go in and she pulls up in this little golf cart with eyelashes. And I'm like, never mind. We're fine. Good. Wasted my time. He spent the whole time petting the dog. Like forget it. It was pointless.
You don't need me. You're fine. The show does itself.
Pretty much. I'm like, I don't need to write a character. All we need to do is push existing social media. Like there is no need for a media strategist. I'm just distributing it. Like I'm just distributing the show. Pointless. I have never been rendered so redundant in one photographic moment. And that was you pulling up in the golf cart with eyelashes. That was the point. You don't need a media strategist to put together your show. You're fine.
Thank you. Well, that's why I'm saying the response. I'm saying I'm going to be filming my own show. Everyone literally just said it's about time. It's about time. Or like they're like, really, like no brainer. Like of course you are.
Of course you are. Yeah.
Of course you are.
Of course you got a show.
Of course you do. Exactly. So it's been really, really positive. We're super excited. I've getting NDAs out, and I've filmed some of the girls, and this thing is writing itself, which is hilarious. Like every day, I wish we had cameras rolling right now because there's so much action packed.
Well, it's funny. I avoid doing that. And because if anyone from the studios is watching, and I know they always are so tough, if you film before, it's why I don't do sizzle. I don't do sizzles. I don't do pilots. If you film before, you don't get any money for what you filmed. And I mean, and I always tell people, I'm in the business of film. So I'm like, if you want, I'm not giving you a season for free. I'm not giving you an episode for free. You want the content, pay me. Okay. So I'm very fussy about that. That's why I was like, I know you wish they were filming. I'm glad they're not, because I want more money. Right. Don't tell them that. I don't want them thinking I'm holding them hostage the way that I am.
Well,
yes, of course I am.
And we were talking about how smooth and easy this process seems to be going. How everyone's backing you and they love the idea of you doing this reality show. Have you been on a set that's like just completely counter to this? Everything is
a
hassle. So, just your own perspective there.
I've been on a lot of sets. I've been a SAG since 2004, so I've seen every production. In fact, I was on a big red carpet event last night. Just for example, VH1 was filming the Jackie from the Basketball Wives. So it was just being seen. And so it's seen behind the scenes. And of course, I love production as well. And they're like,
which red carpet were you at last night?
It was called Amari magazine. It was in Long Beach. He's done several. I was in the magazine before. George, the publisher, is a good friend of mine, so I support his big events. But
do me a favor after the show. Hook me up with him because I'd love to do where we're tracking it on the show. I'd love to do magazines tracking the building of your show as well. So I'd like to.
Well, yeah, we need to be on the front cover of that, and that's a total doable because that's what they did. That's what they do with Jackie. The whole crew was there. It was a 3-camera deal. All the people were there. S&P was there. Like everybody was there.
Because I know Yana will get you the fashion magazines. Yana will get you. You know, she does runway and all of those. But we want to get you a couple that you have kind of existing relationships with. So for those out there that don't know this, brand building, especially before a show, incredibly, incredibly important. So the more things she's seen in, the more money we get for the show. I'm actually using this. I'm like, as the audience follows, I'm like, watch us build this. So as it comes out, you know, they've got to sit here and and watch it be built. And usually we just talk about behind the scenes stuff.
That's super easy. Yeah. That's will write itself. George loves me. Like I said, I've been in his magazine before. I had a full page article, which I can show you, send to you. It's a pretty nice thing. But the basketball wife, and then you get an award. So he does a whole thing. Everybody comes inside, and you get on stage, and you know, she had her bodyguards, like the whole thing. It was just last night, so it's just fresh in my mind. But yeah, I can see us doing the exact same thing. I'm not a stranger to any of that stuff. So
I'm wanting to put you on Vogue is the biggest one. I want to do an article on Vogue and I want to do an article on runway because usually bodybuilders are not focused in high fashion. So I spoke with Yana, and one of the things for y'all out there, you'll see this. I know, you know, Bear does Fashion Week. Yana comes from fashion. And so I'd like to actually include you in Los Angeles Fashion Week, because that's not usually a place they're focused. They'll bring in male bodybuilders. They do not bring in female bodybuilders. Now, and I don't want to do it for like the swimsuits. I want to tie you into high fashion. Perfect. Because I think that's an expanding area, and the more people are tied into fashion. I mean, if you look at Zendaya, the reality, everyone has to tie into fashion these days. And 100%. So you just don't see muscular women. And now that they're going back to that kind of heroin chic thing, I'd love to see your body.
Oh yeah, we need that. We can't have that whole thing come back at all.
Absolutely. Well, it's already back. Yeah.
100%. What's as funny as I did a couture fashion show when I was super jacked, Bear, you'd understand. Like I was contest ready, and they had me in the salad dress. I don't know if you remember that, but it was Heidi Klum wore it, and it was literally called I looked like a big piece of cabbage. It was the funniest thing. They literally stuffed me into this giant couture big gown with this thing on my head. It was absolute. I'm like 15-inch biceps. I was just
love that.
The crowd went insane. I worked that runway like no other because I had my personality, and I engaged everybody, and I went to the tables, and I was posing and twirling and doing it. And these huge muscles, and people went in absolutely insane. They literally had to sew me into it backstage before I went out. Yeah. But it was really funny because it was so opposite of what you would expect. You know,
you're a dichotomy in yourself. You don't expect. I have a lot of friends that are bodybuilders, and they've competed, mostly men, but I do know a few women. But they're usually very tomboy. You are the most feminine person. You're girlier than you are the most feminine person I've ever met. And so it's the dichotomy of going into bodybuilding and being the girliest girl I've ever met and riding a Harley. This is why you get the show. And then riding a Harley. You are this walking dichotomy. It's really interesting to me.
That's that people everywhere I go, people people know me everywhere I go without all this branding and all these things. I guess from all the years worth of things. Like on the red carpet last night, they're like, "Oh my God, Lauren Powers is here." I just do the name on the thing, and they announce me and walk down the whole step and repeat the whole thing. It was just last night, and I wasn't the big star of the night. I was incognito. I didn't even want to go, to be honest with you.
Oh, how come?
I've been to so many, and I'm busy. I'm promoting my big event, which you two are going to be at, the big Abundant Life Expo. So I'm working, getting all my vendors and speakers and everything organized. And I'm glad I've been. It's fun.
It's why you have to go to those events, because you got to announce to the audience, come to the event.
Come to my event. Better than this one.
Yeah, it's way better than that. Not to insult the magazine. I want to work with you because we've got to do a.
Yeah, we'll be on the cover. Yeah,
we got to get on that. But go to her event. So would you tell everyone about your event?
Yes, it's coming up. It's next Friday. So it's a week from today. This is just one of my flyers I'm putting everywhere. Actually, I was on the red carpet with this flyer.
Oh, I love that.
That's the way to do it.
I love that.
The promoter from hell, they say.
I love that. Oh, have your name on your car. I walked by you and we were in the parking lot and we're headed over. And I got to tell you, we drive a dark SUV. Like we are consistently incognito. And I look over and it's Lauren Powers. I was like, oh my God, she's brilliant.
On everything. On the Mercedes, the Escalade, the Harley, and the golf cart. It's on everything. Because let's put it this way, Cadillac, like if you understand this, Bernice, Cadillac doesn't pay me to drive around in an Escalade, right? So why don't I promote my own brand? So I'm pretty branded already, and I teach branding and I coach on that and stuff because I was considered the most branded female bodybuilder in the world, especially when I was competing.
It shows.
Yeah, because why not, right? Being shy is a waste of time. In fact, here's my little microphone, very subtle.
Oh, not flashy at all. Well, it's funny.
All my brands on it. Like there's Faith and Fitness, Powers Fitness events. So depending on what I'm promoting, Power Hour, like what you're doing now.
That's what we'll see.
I love it. Isn't that awesome?
I love that.
It's great design.
My friend made it for me. Yeah, solid crystals.
I love that. I love the number of crystals. Well, we actually reached out. I'm waiting for a call back. We're trying to get Schwarzenegger to do a cameo in your show. And so, we've got Ike Catcher's already going to be doing it. And we're trying to get, so for those that don't know, you all know Ike Catcher. He comes on the show. He's Mr. Muscle Beach. He's already agreed to come on. We're reaching out to Schwarzenegger.
He bench pressed me over his head.
I'm not surprised.
Yes, at Muscle Beach. I've done a lot of filming at Muscle Beach. Well, I'm 8-time Miss Muscle Beach.
Yes, that's why we were bringing him. Hence the cross promotion.
And Arnold will remember me because when he was governor, I actually did a ballroom dance because I do that too. I did a cha-cha on his stage at the Arnold Classic when there was 200,000 people there. Wow. He came into the ballroom and there was performances for his time that he was there. And I was one of them chosen. They taught me a routine literally the night before. We practiced till 4 a.m. and I performed this cha-cha for him, just him, a professional partner I didn't even know. They put us together, threw us out there, and I did a whole thing. I have the footage. It was on CNN. It was a big deal. So he gave me double kisses and I did a double bicep for him when I was done with it. Cause I was talking about girl in the dichotomy, right? I have 15-inch biceps. And then I was in this frilly little feather ostrich leopard dress with bling. And they did my makeup all cool. And I was super tan and the whole thing. It was awesome. And then Arnold's like, oh, you very good. Thank you. Like it was awesome. So we have that footage. So when you reach out to him, we can show him.
I love that. Well, I wanted to, I wanted him to come on the show and have you guys do a kind of a workout together. We were talking about that with Ike. And so I'm reaching out to these people. Yeah. Everyone knows you. I'm not used to doing a show where I'm like calling people. Everyone's like, oh, for sure. Love her. I'm like,
I'm curious as we're talking through these and discussing a lot of things that come up in your time through Hollywood and entertainment is just been a part of the bodybuilding. Now, obviously, it's your image. Do you think that you would have gotten these same opportunities or roles or still been as involved in Hollywood if you weren't also a bodybuilder? Just personality, not the weightlifting.
100%, because I've worked with a lot of producers and I did a Hallmark movie with Justine Bateman back in the day when I very first came out on the scene, and I went to the wrap party and all this stuff, and the director came to me personally at the wrap party and he said, you should not be stereotyped and casted in that as the muscle girl. You have acting abilities. You should be doing other things. You are so professional to work with. And then he said, in fact, everybody had a different picture of you after you were wrapped on their walkie-talkie thing. He said all the crew, there was 22 of them, all had a little face picture of me on their walkie-talkie thing. He goes, you were so impactful to our crew. And he's like, you need to be broaden your horizons and not be pigeonholed into that. But it has helped to like, you're a big fighter, Bear, so you understand, like you kind of get casted into these certain stereotypes. But it has helped because there's not a music video that has come out that they want for a female bodybuilder that I haven't gotten. Let's put it that way. Really, from Lady Gaga to J-Lo to everybody. In fact, last night at this VH1 thing, the guy right in front of me, I was doing that little 360 picture deal. And he's like, I know you. He goes, I did your hair. He goes, I'm the one that spray painted your hair red for the Julia Michaels music video that just came out last month. He goes, I'll never forget her face. He goes, you were so cool. Everybody loved you on set. Oh my gosh. And we talked about you, la, la, la. So it's really nice to hear positive feedback as far as working
well,
on
you do have a good reputation. And to everyone out there, if media is something you want to be in, that is incredibly important, because it doesn't matter who you know. What matters is who knows you. And if they know you and don't like you, you are not working. I will always, I will always work with people that I like, because if I'm taking a large financial risk and betting my reputation on someone, it's going to be someone I know, someone I like, or somebody with a very good reputation like yourself. You have to take those risks, and you do. You have an incredible reputation in Hollywood. You have a reputation for being a hard worker, for being very, very honest, for being very straightforward, and being very pleasant to work with. There's no diva behavior, which given like how you're showing us the crystal microphone case, and I'm like, and also not a diva. You are literally an enigma wrapped in a puzzle.
I've been called different things too. That's a good one. A diva and enigma wrapped in a different puzzle. That's perfect.
Yeah, because you have none of the diva behavior. You have none of the, you look like a diva, but you got none of the behavior. You've got a great reputation. You are kind of, the dream star for a show, because you're already well known, you're already well liked, and everyone wants to work with you. And so it's really interesting. How did you cultivate a reputation like that?
I think just being real, like what we're talking about, and just it's literally common sense to me, but not everybody has it, shockingly enough. Like being where you're supposed to be, following the direction, listening to the directors. When they say back to one, you're not over at the crafty table, eating a banana. You're back where you're, and because I've seen it all over all these years. I really have. And it's just being, like you said, I always make friends with hair and makeup and all the cast and crew all the time. That's just like always been my reputation. Is just natural for me, but I guess it is, standing out. And that's good. When we were shopping my other show, I heard that my name was everywhere all over Hollywood.
Yep.
But it was timing that it didn't get picked up. So I think all those things, like Bear was saying, all these years of preparation and just living my life has brought us to this moment now that the world is ready for. And all the hope and the positivity and the fun, but the flair of the faith, all of that, all in one, will make for really, really amazing content that America's ready for, and that we're going to have fun producing and enjoy it, and make good content. Like I think this thing is already writing itself. It's so,
I love
as
that.
You were here for an hour. It's so all the fun stuff.
Talking about being on set and everything for as much as you have.
I want to ask questions about her event, so be quick.
Okay. I mean, we can do that too. I just had a quick one. Like, do you have any on-set pet peeves? Things that really get to you when you're on set?
Pet peeves. Probably where people not being where they're supposed to, because
got it.
Literally, I mean, especially, I don't know what it is with bikini girls and even bodybuilders. I think that's why my reputation is so, because it made it easy for me, because they were always wandering around, never where they're supposed to be. I mean, I've been on some big sets in my career, and I've seen it all, and it's ridiculous. But then we're all waiting, so everybody's waiting, and when you're on set, time is money. Production hates that, and they're trying to find the talent and all of these things, and I'm just standing there like, okay, well, I'm here. Don't put me with those other people.
Yeah. Well, the hurry up and wait sucks. I agree with you.
It does.
But I can count when we have to find an actor, or when someone's walking, I can count how much money is being wasted just as and it's a producer thing. But as somebody walks by, I'm counting, and I'm just sitting there counting. The numbers are because I'm the one that's got to find the money. So
it's like having sheep in your sleep. 1,000, 2,000.
In your trailer, they're not dressed, they're not ready. The wardrobe's not even. It's to me, it's basic. It's just you go to work. It's a job. So just be professional like anything else. You clock in on the right time. You're dressed, you're ready, your hair, your makeup, you're done, you're ready. You don't complain, and you do your work, but you enjoy it. And I think there's much passion and positivity and fun. And I don't know, I've always been the light of every set I've ever been on, is what I've been told.
That actually
is very easy
almost,
to see that.
almost exact from what I've heard. The term that I was told was the bright spot, the fun part of the day. So you really, really do have you hit the nail on the head with your reputation. That is very much it. You're always the light, the bright spot.
You.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, my friend was at the Grammys, and he texted me. I haven't talked to him in a while. And he texted me. He goes, "Oh, I was at the Grammys last night." And he goes, "You're never going to believe this." When he got home, he texted me this thing. And it was like 1 a.m. He goes, "I was at the mashed potato bar talking with Lady Gaga of all people, and she totally remembers you and told him how much I inspired her and motivated her, and she loved working with me." And I'm like, are you kidding me? Why is she talking about me at the Grammys? Like, what? How crazy is that?
You leave impact on people.
You do.
He called me the next day and he goes, "Yeah, we were talking about you because I said that I knew you, and she totally remembered working with you and how much you inspired her." I'm like, he goes, "I think you need to reach out with her, and there's something there that you need to reconnect with her, and whether it's bringing more faith to her because she's a little on the dark side, you know."
Yeah. And she's gonna have a bit of a resurgence now too. She dropped that her new music video for the Abracadabra song, and it's really just blown up on social media. So that'd be a great time for that too.
I think so Alexis swears up and down she has lupus. She's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Her aunt died from lupus. And Alexis looked at her, and she's Alexis's sister also died from lupus. So did Stephanie, Lady Gaga's aunt. And she looked at her and she said, "You know, you're always diagnosed with fibromyalgia before you're diagnosed with lupus." She's like, "But the way she's moving, the way her limbs are moving." Right. She said, "You can see the stiffness." She's like, "I'm telling you, it's lupus." And Lex has yet to be wrong. When she looks at someone and says it's that, she's like, you know, those dogs that smell cancer? Lex is like a lupus finder. It's really weird.
I smell autoimmune disorders.
That's it. But I'm telling you, right. But she looks at her
maybe
and
you're right. So maybe there's something there too, you know, work with her again and on something.
Truly.
We should pull her on the reality show. She's really chill. I've always liked her.
Oh yeah, she was super cool. Well, the set that I was with her, the grandma and the mom and the sister and the dog and everybody came up and they were asking me. They're like, "Oh, have you seen? Where's Stephanie?" They're asking me.
Yeah, they're like, "Well, she's just really down to earth." And
Stephanie, I didn't even know her name at the time.
She's like, so the lady
she came with a big nun hat on, and she's like, "Oh, hi, mommy, hi, Grammy, thanks, so glad you guys came." They just flew in from New York, and I'm like, "Oh, that's so nice, you guys were here for this video." And she goes, "Well, she's also opening up with Elton John tomorrow for the Grammys." That was the year that came out. So I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I was hanging out with them the whole time, and her manager was literally trying to push me back in the holding or in the green room and all. I never went.
She has a good
hanging out with her.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
You never know. I mean, all this stuff, like working with Arnold and her and all these people in my past, bring them all back to life again.
Bring them on your show.
The relationships that we've already had with all these different people and all the stuff that you have. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go.
I think it'll be fun. Now, I want to talk about your upcoming event. Yes. I want to make sure we get people over there. So tell us about it.
Yes, it's in Laguna Woods Village. It's here in Orange County, South Orange County. Everybody gets in free. That's the first thing. I'm expecting 300 to 400 people to come through. It starts at 9 a.m. The doors open, and we shut down at 3. And then the vendors, I have over 50 exhibitors. I have expert speakers speaking on different topics from health and wealth, both. Because my whole philosophy is, without your health, what is your wealth? And I've met so many wealthy people that's spending all their money trying to get healthy, right? So they're completely interlocked. So we have to have both at the same time because it's expensive to be healthy as well. You have to have money to be super healthy and not spend all your wealth trying to get healthy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really motivated and inspired to put all these people and all the relationships I build, again, speaking at different networking events that I do, get them all under one roof for one day of this free event. We've got raffle prizes coming in. People are doing giveaways. I have you, Barris, on the thing to maybe do some seniors MMA fighting or not.
He's gonna be talking about self-defense.
Right. Self-defense moves because people like that. There's room for that where you're going to be in this other room with me, and I have a prayer lounge for free prayer and healing. But people really need that right now. So I'm just really proud of this, what we put together. I guess I sent Alexis the flyer, the digital copy.
They're not going to be able to see it. Most people watch this on their phones. So they're not going to be able to see that. But I will say, guys, we will put up a link so that you can get to it.
Oh, perfect.
We'll put up a link to the whole thing so you can get tickets. You'll see me there. You'll see Bear there.
Yep.
We will be there supporting her.
I'm going to be speaking. And I'll be doing book giveaways and tons of raffle prizes, really nice things. Everybody's just really generous, donating all kinds of things for people to win. And there's really a delicious food that's going to be there. It's really fun. It's just a one big day of health and wealth.
What's the address? Because it's the end of the show. I want to make sure everyone goes there.
Yeah. It's at Laguna Woods Village, Clubhouse number 5. So you just put in your GPS, Clubhouse 5, Laguna Woods Village. Tell them at the gate, because it's all security, that you're there for the expo. You get in free. It's free parking, free entry, a whole day of action-packed, and come meet myself and meet you guys. If you want to meet Bear and the Baroness in person, they will be there live. And so we're super excited. We're really proud of what we put together. And I've got a few more throughout the year. And I might be doing a fitness competition for seniors, where you'll have to come to that too.
Yeah.
Now for 50, 60, 70, 80, and even 90-year-old people. Put a fitness comp. It'd be fun.
I hope I can compete in fitness competitions when I'm 90.
You're doing MMA. Right? You'll be lucky to do it when you're 40.
I know.
He can barely close his hands now. Lauren, tell everyone where to find you on social media. We're at the end of the show. I want to make sure they're following you.
Instagram, it says Lauren Powers Official. Look for the blue check. And I have a couple of Facebook pages. Just Google my name, Lauren Powers. I have my own website, laurenpowers.com. So all the icons and links are on there. The book is on there for a free copy of my digital book. It's beneaththemuscle.com. So I'll be giving out free books there, and just put my name in. It's pretty simple. Lauren Powers everywhere.
Lauren Powers
everywhere. And I will tell you guys, we are going to keep you updated as the show goes. This is the first show on Behind the Scenes. You've watched us. You know, we always talk about what goes on. You know about the films we've done, the TV shows we've done. We're actually going to, as this show builds, keep bringing Lauren on so you guys can track the building of this show. I just thought it would be a cool thing for them to watch.
That's a very cool thing. I'll do it, baby. I will love it.
Perfect.
Boom. Be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom.
I like that.
I love the double bicep curl at the end.
So we'll see you next week. Guys, Vincent Ward will be on the show next week, and we'll be doing a pre-record because we are going to be at that event. I expect y'all to be at that event. Come see us. Come see Bear. Come see Lauren. Come say hi. Thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Of course.
All right.
Guys, Millie needs to make an appearance. Come here, Millie.
I know. Thank you guys for joining us for Behind the Scenes. I'm the Baroness. We're on with my co-host, the baddest bear in the cage, Bear Fiorda. We'll see you next week. Come see us live if you want to do some grappling with a bear, or come say hi. We'll see you in Laguna.
Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.